Good morning. So let me just discuss our final topic for the AutoCAD, which is yung 3D basics. Okay. So before we start, let me just differentiate ano ba yung 2D sa 3D. So first is kapag tayo ay nasa 2D, just like what we have in our previous lessons wherein we discussed the applications of 2D CAD, like yung floor plan, we have the isometric, uh, yung mga scaling, dimensioning, all of it include the applications of the 2D CAD. What separates 2D CAD from 3D CAD is first is uh, yung ating axis na tinatawag. The bottom left of your screen, you will see yung X and Y axis. For 2D CAD, we only needed those two axes. However, during the 3D CAD, we needed the three-dimensional axis, wherein we needed the X, the Y, and the Z axis. So yun yung pagkakaiba. Now, if we're trying to shift our view from 2D to 3D, then we needed this command. So yung first is yung from lipat ko lang. Okay, so from 2D to 3D CAD, we needed this command, yung UCS, o yung ating coordinate system, universal coordinate system. Yun yung ating ibig sabihin ng usage. So for 2D to 3D CAD, we needed this command. So UCS space V as in view, space minus V, space ulit, and then our perspective. So meron tayong apat na perspective. Like we needed northeast, northwest, southeast, and southwest. Mamimili lang kayo dyan ng view. Personally, for me, I always use NE. Yun yung parang mas komportable ako. So if you try to use this command, UCS space V space minus V space and then our view. So for me, I always use NE, sorry. So from there, you will see that the coordinating axis is now 3. So we have the X, the Y, and the Z axis. Out of the perspective from the word coordinate system, yung WCS, makikita niyo yan that it is pointed at the north and the east. At the WCS, nakapoint siya sa north and east. Okay? Now, if you want to go back from 3D to 2D, then you needed this command naman na nasa baba. So you'll type in UCS, again, space, dalawang space yan and then mag-plan kayo, space, space. Now, the difference is kapag hindi tayo nag-use, dalawang space to ha, UCS space, space, plan, space, space. Okay? So, ang ginagawa kasi natin when it comes to bakit kailangan pa natin pindutin yung space, UCS. So, yun yung purpose. So, the purpose kung bakit nagtatype pa tayo ng UCS bago mag-plan, pwede kasing direkta ka na mag-plan. Type mo lang plan, space, space, pwede na yun. However, the point of UCS is to make your reference go to 0, 0, 0, coordinate system. So, ibabalik niya sa pinaka mismong reference na 0, 0, 0. 0 yung X, 0 yung Y, 0 yung Z. So that's why kailangan pa rin natin ilagay yung UCS. Kapag naka-blank space ka lang, yung 3D gagawin yan 2D, pero ililigaw ka niya ng direction based sa kung saan ka nag-plan or tinype yung plan. So nakuha ba yun? From 3D to 2D? From 2D to 3D, you need UCS space, B space, minus B space, and then your perspective kung northeast, northwest, southeast, and southwest. Now, from 3D view to 2D view, you needed naman UCS space, space, plan, space, space. Okay? So sa mga previous discussion natin, I already mentioned sorry, question mo na doon. Meron ba kayong question from 2D to 3D view?
Sir, pareho pong double space pagkatapos ng UCS.
Yes. Nalimutan ko lang ilagay.
Thank you po.
Okay. So, siguro ako meron pa bang, sir, meron pa po bang ibang way for you to change your view from 2D to 3D? So, meron pa bang paraan aside from typing this command? Meron. So, you needed this WCS. So, kung titignan nyo dito, makikita nyo dito na siya ay nasa top view, plan view. Top na plan view. So, ibig sabihin, nasa 2D mode ka. If you want to change directly without even typing here, click mo lang yung parang corner. So, for example, this one is southeast. Ilo-locate ka niya sa southeast. Or kung gusto mo northeast, click mo lang to. Then pupunta ka niya sa northeast. Now, gusto mong bumalik sa dati, then go here sa top. Kaya lang ito nga, ang nangyayari, yung direction ng plan mo is nabago. So yung Y mo, naging X-axis mo na, as yung X-axis mo dati, naging Y-axis na. So, medyo tricky yung part na yun. So for that, kailangan mong bumalik sa plan, UCS plan space space para tama ang orientation ng Y and X axis. Okay? Question?
Clear naman po.
Question ba?
Clear naman po, sir.
Okay. So next is we proceed with the basics of CAD. So prior to our discussions, yung mga first meeting natin, I already told you or give you a glimpse of how 3D is possible in AutoCAD. So first is, ay dalawa lang yung condition. First is, kailangan, it is a closed plane object. Ang mga ida-drawing mo for you to create a CAD. Or number 2, you can set mga pre-drawn 3D objects like a sphere, cone, pyramid, etc. Cylinder also included in that. So, yun yung mga way for you to create a 3D drawing. Like, ano ba yung mga 3D basic na ginagamit natin? So, yung nabanggit ko kanina, we have the cone, the sphere, the cylinder, and the pyramid. So, these are the some of the basic commands na ginagamit natin for 2D CAD, or sorry, for 3D CAD na readily available na siya and will produce a 3D object. Okay, so we'll start with cone. Let me change the perspective of my. Okay. So, first is yung cone. So, shortcut command ng cone is as is. Cone lang ang itatype mo. So cone space, and then you create the center. So kailangan ko muna palang baguhin yung perspective ko para mas ma-appreciate natin siya in yung drawing, yung object. Kasi nasa 2D CAD pa tayo. So ilagay ko lang sa 3D view. You'll see S space, P space, negative B space, and my perspective. So I'm now in 3D. So cone, space, and then you first draw the center of the base or yung inyong bilog. Then you will draw a bilog, a circle as the base, and then hilahin nyo siya pataas to make it a cone. So ganyan lang kasimple. Or pababa, depende sa gusto nyo. So ayan. So I have now a cone. So ganyan lang siya kasimple. So if you want to have ano tawag dito? Precision or precise drawing of a cone, then ganun lang din kung paano natin ginagawa yung mga drawing natin. You first draw the base, the center of the base, and then halimbawa, kung yan ay 2 in radius, so type mo lang 2, and then yung height, let's say gawin ko siyang 5, then you will create a precise drawing of a cone. Okay? So from a perspective, different perspective, so ganyan yung magiging itsura ng cone. So madali lang siya. Okay, the next one is yung sphere. So for sphere, you have SPH for its shortcut command. So SPH and then space, and then click on the base or the center of the plot or the center of the object, and then hilahin nyo lang siya. And then you will create a sphere. So yan, sa below. Okay, so ganun lang kasimple. Or you can, parang simplihan natin kung paano natin ginagawa yung circle. Ganun lang din yung concept niya. So, SPH and then click on the center kung gusto mong siya in diameter or in radius siya, yun yung default niya. So, let's say radius of 2. Kung gusto mo naman siya in diameter 2, then click mo sa gitna and then B space and then 2 space. So, yan. So that's how you draw a sphere. Now for pyramid, circle, cylinder, ang shortcut command naman is CYL. So you first draw the base uli, parang nag-drawing ka lang ng bilog, and then hilahin mo siya pataas or pababa para mag-create ng isang cylinder. And then last is yung pyramid. Yung pyramid is based sa isang cube. Cube lagi ang base niya. Kasi di ba meron tayong mga pyramid na rectangular pyramid. So which means na magkaiba ang kanyang length sa width. So for pyramid, ito ay laging on a square basis. Or yun yung laging yung square base. Then hilahin siya pataas or pababa, just like what you did in cone. So that's how you create a pyramid. So yun nga, tulad na sinasabi ko, ang base ng pyramid is always a square. Okay? Question sa apat na drawing?
Sir, question. Paano nyo pinapaning kanina yung yung in perspective?
Again?
Paano nyo pinapaning yung
Okay.
minumove sa perspective?
Ang ginagawa ko, ang pinipindot ko ay yung mouse, di ba? Yung trackball natin. And then, while holding yung shift. Shift na, shift sa
Okay.
keyboard. Ayan.
Okay po.
So, para maikot ko siya. Shift and then yung trackball. Press nyo. Para sa pan. Okay? Okay, sa 2D, kung ibabalik ko siya sa 2D, ganito ang kanyang mga itsura. Para kayong tumitingin sa top view ng object. So, yun. So, may babalik ko siya sa 3D, then balik ako sa 3D view. Okay? Now, this is for the 3D made objects. So, yung cone, sphere, cylinder, and pyramid. Sir, paano po yung mga ibang object? Paano natin siya ginagawa? Yung mga irregular shape na 3D models. So, paano natin siya ginagawa? So, yun nga, balik tayo sa condition first ng kung paano tayo nag-3D. It must be a closed plane object. So, ano ibig sabihin ng closed plane object? For example, a rectangle. Would you consider a rectangle as a closed plane object?
Yes po, sir.
Yes. And then a circle is also considered as a closed plane object. And then, how about a line?
No po, hindi po siya closed, sir. 1D lang po siya. Ay, 1D lang po siya.
Yes. So compared to a rectangle and a drawing made of 4 lines, hindi ba considered to as a closed object? So ibig sabihin, closed is single object. So gaya nga ng sinabi mo, ang consideration natin for a line is a 2 points lang. So for you to consider an object, a plane object, it must be considered, it must be composed of 3 points, for 3 or more points para ma-consider natin siya na plane. Since ang line is 2 points lang, hindi siya mako-considered as a plane object. Sir, pero pinagdugtong naman natin yung mga line as to be a rectangle, for example. However, pwede yun. However, pag siya ay kinonvert natin into 3D, kino-considered pa rin siya as 4 different objects. So for you to have the condition as a closed plane object, kailangan siya ay isang object lang in consideration. So kasi since ito ay composed of 4 lines, then 4 different objects ang kanyang i-render or i-extrude. Okay? Now, sir, ang mga object na to is somehow nadodraw siya na parang, let's say, symmetrical pa rin siya. So may sabihin, pag naglagay ako ng line sa gitna ng object, it still be a 2 equal part. Paano naman po yung mga irregular object? How do we draw an object, a closed plane object for irregular objects? So for that, you use polyline para ma-consider siya as one closed object. Like this one, for example, I'll try to draw a closed plane object. Ito is irregular in shape, but however, since ito ay gawa sa polyline, it is considered as a closed plane object dahil one object lang siya particular. Okay, so now that we satisfy the conditions of drawing a 3D CAD or 3D object, then we'll proceed with the command to be used for 3D, and that is extrude. Okay, so since meron na tayong shortcut command for EX, which is, ang ibig sabihin is extend, dinagdagan lang ng T para maiba siya from extend and call it extrude or the extrusion. You put a height on an object. So EXT, ext space, and then you click the close plane object, and then space. And then from that, you can add a height. Same goes with this one, this rectangle. So ext space, and then hatakan mo siya pataas. Same goes with this one. Yeah. So as you can see, naglagay lang siya ng height from it. Now for this one, since ito ay composed of 4 lines, it can be extruded. But however, pag in-extrude ko yan, it becomes a surface, not a 3D object. Naging para siyang surface or yung pader. Yan. Yan. Papansin nyo, siya ay naging isang parang surface lang. Okay? Question?
Sir, pwede po bang parang i-trim yung mga basic shapes po, kumbaga? I-trim po siya.
Trim. Ulit, ano nga yung tanong mo? Pwede ko bang i-trim yung mga object?
Opo, parang puputulin po, kumbaga. Yung circle po gagawin kalahati lang po, kumbaga. Yung sphere po
Okay.
para gagawin kalahati lang.
Yes. We'll go into that. So, yun. So, maganda yung question niya. It's more of the modifying the shape of an object. And we'll go on to that later on. Okay? So, I'll make sure na yung knowledge niya sa 3D basics is talagang sufficient for you to create drawings. Okay? So, since meron na tayong extrusion, okay, so do you have any question aside from being stated before? Meron pa bang ibang question related to what I'm doing now? Meron pa ba ibang tanong or we proceed? Okay. So I guess your silence means no question. Okay, so we'll proceed with another part of extrusion. So meron tayong iba't ibang klase ng pag-extrude. Yung nakita natin na extrusion kanina na ginawa natin is only an example of a linear extrusion. So pataas, pababa lang yung kanyang pagtangka. Okay, so we have different kinds of extrusion. So let me just create you a different set of objects. Okay, so I'll draw a line here. Okay. So, yun na. Meron tayong iba't ibang klase ng extrusion. And what we saw earlier is only a linear extrusion. So, hatak pababa at pataas lang. So, balik tayo dun sa ext space and then click mo yung object. From there, pagka-click mo, you will see at the bottom of yung sa inyong command line, we have their direction, path, taper, angle, and expression. So two of these will be discussed and the other two is for yourself exploratory na lang. Okay? So what I will be teaching you is the path and the taper angle. So for taper angle, you press T. So, in contrast with linear extrusion, ang taper is nag-a-add siya ng angle kung ano yung angle na pwede siyang i-extrude. So just like what I'm doing now is I added same with linear extrusion, however, a certain angle is involved here. So you can see kapag medyo binaba ko yung aking cursor, it almost portrays yung pabuka. Pabuka yung kanyang pag-extrude. When I go my arrow down, yung object naman narrowed and then they meet at a certain height. Okay? So naglalagay ka ng angle. So this is particularly applicable, or sorry, it is almost identical to what you do during creation of a cone, or when you're trying to do a pyramid, a square pyramid. This taper angle is your option for doing that. Kung hindi kayo marunong gumawa ng pyramid or cone dun sa 3D basics niya, then you're lucky to have or to use this taper angle. Okay, so once you're already fixed with the angles that you use, then you click and then that's it. Then you add height and then that's it. You have your tapered object. Same with cone here. So extrude. Sorry, same with circle here. And then punta kayo ng taper, then you will create a cone instead. Okay? So dalawa yung kino-consider natin sa taper angle. One is the angle and the other one is height. Unlike with the linear extrusion wherein height lang ang kino-consider natin. Sa taper, we consider sa angle. The taper angle. So that's what they called it. Okay. Another feature of this of 3D CAD is the 3D rotate. Or in shortcut, we have 3D R. So it is another features of this 3D CAD wherein you will try to change the angle in between of an object. So if I try to, para siyang rotate, kasi ang rotate lang is for 2D, wherein ang 3D rotate, you can rotate it on its x-axis, y-axis, or z-axis. Okay, so let's try this first. So if you type in 3DR and then space, click mo yung object na gusto mong i-rotate and then space. And then as you can see there, meron siyang parang lumabas na tatlong bilog. The first one is red, the other one is green, and the last one is blue. So it pertains to the different rotation axis. So for green, it pertains to the rotation at the y-axis, the red, the rotation at the x-axis, and the blue, the rotation at the y-axis. If we try to, halimbawa, invert this particularly object, this cone, how will I do that? Saan ako pwede mag-rotate? Saan ko siya pwedeng paikutin? The X, the Y, or the Z? Ano kaya yung pwede kong pindutin para ma-invert ko tong cone na to?
Yung pula po, sir. Ay,
Yung alin?
yung X po.
Yung kulay pula.
Yes, apa.
Okay. So good. That is one. So meron pang isa. Ano pa yung isa? Pwede mo siyang pihitin ng Y o yung kulay green. So either way, that is because it is a cone. So pwedeng pula, pwedeng green. So once I drag my cursor or my mouse at the red one, it becomes yellow. Sorry, it becomes orange. The same goes with blue, green, nagiging orange siya, and for blue. So pipihitin ko siya or I try to twist it or to rotate the object using the red axis or the x-axis, then I'll click here and then pwede ko na siyang ma-rotate. The same goes with the green one. So pwede din yung green para siya ma-rotate. So once you're okay with the direction, then click and then that's it. It becomes inverted. Okay, paano pag halimbawa ni-rotate ko naman to object na to in the blue, in the z-axis or yung blue. So, pwede naman. So, it will look like this. Yan. Ganyan lang. Paikot lang siya sa ibabaw. So, z-axis. Now, the purpose of teaching you how to rotate an object using 3DR is kasi nga, meron pa tayong isang type ng extrusion, which is yung path. Okay, so yung path is the same as the linear extrusion and the taper angle extrusion. However, ito is may sinusunod na path. So that's why it's called a path extrusion kasi may susundin siyang ano ba yung path sa Tagalog? Linya, may susundin siyang way, parang ganon, may susundin siyang way sa object. And I drawn the object here. This one is will serve as its path. So ano yung object na pwede kong ilagay? So let's say I'll draw a circle or a polygon na let's say 6 sides. So I'll draw yan and then mag-drawing din ako ng square and then rectangle. Okay, so I have 4 shapes here. So what I will do is kung mapapansin nyo dyan, sila ay lying on the same plane. Okay, so sabi ko nga, ang path ay may sinusunod. Ang path extrusion ay isang pag-extrude ng isang object in which it guided through a path. So yung path direction na tinatawag natin. So for you to do this path extrusion, kailangan hindi sila magka-same ng perspective. So just like this one, ito yung path mo, ito yung object mo. So hindi mo yan may extrude using path kasi sila ay on the same plane. What you will do is you rotate either the path or the object. So for me, para mas makita ko or mas makita nyo in better view yung isang object, paano siya nagro-rotate, I'll rotate the objects, yung mga yan natin. And then paangat. So as you can see, rotate ko lang siya using the green one. O yun sa Y. Okay, so as you can see, siya ay naiba na ng perspective from the path direction. Okay. So first is, yung pinakamadali, ilagay ko muna yung circle dun sa gitna ng path. Okay, so mapapansin nyo para siyang nasa gitna siya ng path direction. So i-XT ka na, and then click mo yung object na gusto mong i-extrude. Kung linear extrusion lang siya, is dire-diretso lang yan. But using path, let's say, type in P space, and when I click this path direction, tingnan nyo ang mangyayari. So it follows the path direction. Okay? Question? Sa path, extrude, click the object. Extrude, click the object, space, P for path, and then click the path direction. So it becomes parang siyang pipings. Okay, what about yung mga different objects like this one, yung triangles? Move ko siya. And then M2. Lagay ko siya sa gitna. So, copy ko ulit para magawa ko doon sa iba. Okay, so pag nagpat ako, extrude, and then P space, and then click the path direction. So mapapansin nyo dyan is iba na yung kanyang object. So triangular yung pag-move niya or pag-sunod niya sa path. Okay, this one is a hexagon. So lalagay ko lang din siya sa gitna ng linya para ma-extrude ko siya. And then EXT, click the object, and then P space, and then click the path direction. Okay? And then last one, kung square. Kunin ko muna yung gitna. So remove sorry. Click the object, space, and 2B. Then click the line. Click at the center and then extrude. Okay, so yeah. So iba't ibang klase ng shapes and for different applications sa path extrusion. Question? Question?
Sir, paano pag
different
hindi
types of
naka-polyline?
Pag hindi naka-polyline, okay, that's a good question. Pag hindi naka-polyline, it's pa isa-isa. Halimbawa, line lang ang ginamit mo or arc. Halimbawa. Kaya advantageous ang paggamit ng yan. So pag in-extrude ko yan, yung simpa, pa isa-isa. Kiklik ko muna to dahil hindi siya naka-polyline or hindi siya considered as isang object. Yan. So, sagot ko ba yung tanong mo? Iyan.
Yes po, sir. Thank you po.
Sir, ako po may tanong.
Yes.
Yung mga, pwede po ba parang pagko-combinein po yung mga lines po para magiging isang object na lang siya?
Pwede yun. Pero hindi kagagamit ng block. Ha? Pwedeng join ang gamitin mo. Hindi pwede ang block kasi ang block is parang ginugroup mo lang siya. Pwede join. Yan, katulad yan. Ginoin ko yung dalawa. Kasi i-join ko lang din itong isa. Yan. Para maging isang object. So for that, pwede mo na siyang ma-extrude ng path. Okay? Kuha ba yun? Jules?
Yeah, po, sir. Thank you po.
Okay. Question sa extrusion other than yung sa mga question nila? Okay. Kung wala, then we'll proceed with yung tanong kanina ni Jules ulit. Sir, pwede ba mag-trim ng mga object or bawasan yung isang object, mga pre-drawn object? Pwede yun. Now, we have a command for that and it's called union and subtraction. So, yung union is parang addition, yung SU naman is subtraction or babawas ka. Now, ang kinaibahan nila, or sorry, yung similarity muna ng union is somehow similar to block. Kung yung gumagamit tayo ng block before, groupings. Ang union is ganun din. Pagsasamahin niya yung isang object. Kahit hindi sila planar object or hindi sila magkadugtong. Like for example, this one, magkalayo sila. Pag ni U and I ko yan, magiging consider na sila as isang object. So U and I, click, click, and then space. So consider na siya as one object. Kahit hindi sila magkadikit. Yan. Now, pwede po bang pagdugtungin? For example, this one, yung sphere. Lalagay ko siya sa taas ng cylinder. So, kapag nag-UNI ako, click ko to, magiging consider na siya as one object. Okay? So, that is union. So, madali lang siya. Okay, the next one is yung subtract. Ito na yung sinasabi ni Jules kanina. Yung question niya about yung pag-trim ng isang object. So, pwede tayong mag-trim using subtract. So, for example, asan na ba yung naka-invert? Ito. So, ito na lang. I-rotate ko muna to ha. 3DR. Okay. Let's say this one, ilalagay ko siya dito sa gitna ng cylinder. Nakikita niyo ba? Basta nasa nakapatong na yung cone dyan. Isolate ko lang siya, then here. So, kung mapapansin nyo dyan, hindi nyo makita in this perspective, makikita nyo, pero it is combination of as a cone and a cylinder. So, yan. So, going back, if you subtract, then, ang ginagawa ng subtract is to subtract another object from subtract an object from another object. Okay, so for example, you try to create or you try to use subtract or shortcut command niya is SU. Now, ang una natin kiniklik dito is yung object na babawasan mo. Ulitin ko, ang una niyong kiniklik na object dapat is yung object na babawasan nyo. In my case, I will use yung cylinder. Siya yung babawasan ko. And then space, and then yung susunod yung object na i-click is yung ipambabawas nyo. So for me, ang ipambabawas ko is let's say yung cone. So na-click ko na siya. And then space. So mapapansin nyo dyan is nagkaroon siya ng nabawas yung cone dun sa cylinder. So nagkaroon siya ng parang hole or yung ukap na shape in the shape of a cylinder. Okay? Let's say I want to use this one. Nilipat ko siya dun sa corner nitong object na to, na irregular object. Now, if I try to use SU space, let's say this one ang babawasan ko, at ipambabawas ko ito, then see what happened. Nagkaroon siya ng object. So kung ano lang yung dumampik dun sa object na yon, kung ano lang yung planar dun sa object, then yun lang yung mababawas. Then, just like this one, hindi yung buong object ang nag-touch dun sa object na yon. So it becomes a part lang yung napambawas kasi yun lang yung planar sa. Okay, question?
Sir,
Yes.
sa 3D object po ba, di ba po yung union para po yung blank? Pwede po ba silang ipag-join?
Pwede silang ipag-join. Ano
Join.
ibig sabihin mo?
Yung para pong yung ginawa niyo sa line kanina na naka-join na talaga sila.
Okay. So, hindi. Kasi yung join is ginagamit sa mga 2D object. Ang union is ginagamit sa 3D object.
Okay po.
Yun ba yung nakuha ba? Okay,
Apo.
sige.
Thank you po.
Thank you. Okay, so yun yung purpose. Now, ano ang disadvantage naman ng paggamit ng union? Yung union ako meron nakikita. May advantage and disadvantage ang paggamit ng union. So yung unang-una is once ang object is na pag-union mo na, just like this one, hindi mo na siya basta-basta mahihiwalay. Unless, ang ginagawa ko dito para mapaghiwalay ko is first kinakopy ko siya, then sinasubtract ko. Like this one. Gagawin ko, maglalagay ako halimbawa ng rectangle, tapos, yan. Ganyan ang ginagawa ko. Then, i-move ko tong rectangle, then M2P, lalagay ko siya dun sa gitna ng cone, then tsaka ko siya isasubtract. Ganun yung way. Then, ang gagawa na naman ako ng rectangle, ipapaloob ko dito sa ano na to, tapos para masubtract ko yung isang object naman, para matira is yung cone. So, ganun yung way para mapaghiwalay mo yung object na nag-undergo ng union. So, yun yung unang disadvantage niya. Ay, yun yung disadvantage niya na nakikita ko. Hindi basta-basta pwede mong paghiwalayin yung union na. However, for the advantage ng union, since ang 3D CAD is sobrang bigat niya ng gumamit ng RAM na ang sinasuggest ko nga sa mga students ko before, if we're trying to make a complex 3D object or 3D drawings, make sure that you save kung pwede nga every 30 seconds mag-save kayo. That's how crucial yung or kabigat yung paggamit ng 3D CAD. Let's me just, kung meron pa DWG. Meron pa akong mga object dito. Like for example, this one. It is made using 3D. So ito is combination na ng mga objects. Like I have this LPG tank, then yung mga pipings, yan, yung pressure gauge, over a large tank. Ito is mabigat na. Especially dito ako nagkakaproblema. Itong mga series of tiles. Kasi itong mga tiles na to is composed of different objects. Yan. Now, for the disadvantage tawag dito, ng hindi nag-union is kapag compose na siya ng sobrang dami ng 3D objects, just like this one, composed of bricks, ang nangyayari is bumibigat yung file. So, nahihirapan ka, prone siya sa crash ng AutoCAD. However, kung ikaw ay gagamit ng union, napapagaan mo yung memory na kailangan ng isang file. So, mas gumagaan or lumiliit yung file size. So, kapag nag-union ka. So, case-to-case basis, you have to weigh talaga if you are going to use union o hindi. Ang suggestion ko, ang sinasuggest ko sa mga student ko before is to make sure na wala ka na masyadong changes bago ka mag-union. So, talagang final na yung drawing bago ka mag-union. Kasi once na merong changes pa na mangyari, ay, baka umulit ka. Or yung tulad nga ng ginawa ko kanina, mag-subtract ka na mag-subtract hanggang ma-extract mo lang yung object na kailangan mo. Dahil nga, nag-union ka. But for file size, advantageous ng union. Okay? Question?
Sir, sa subtract, may way ba para Kasi yung pagsa-subtract kanina, yung nadidelete yung ano, yung pang-subtract. May way ba para hindi
Ah,
ma-delete yung ano, pang-subtract?
wala.
Ah, ganun.
Walang way kasi isinasubtract mo nga siya. It follows the rule ng addition din. Kasi kung ano, teka. It follows the rule ng subtraction. So kung yung pinasasubtract mo, mawawala talaga siya. Ang pwede kong masuggest kung gusto mo ma-retain kung gusto mo ma-retain
Yung portion.
yung portion na yon, then i-copy mo. Okay? I-copy mo yung object bago mo siya i-subtract. So parang meron kang dalawang portion ng pag-subtract para hindi mawala yung isa. Okay? Okay, nasagot ko ba yung tanong mo?
Yes po, sir.
Okay. Sige. Now, we will discuss or we will update yung learnings na natutunan natin from isometric. Now, we apply that to a 3D. Alin i-weigh nyo sa tingin nyo or ipag-practicean nyo, alin ang mas madaling gamitin, yung 2D or the 3D. Now, for this one, ito ay isang drawing nung ginamit natin, ginawa natin example sa 3D as a isometric. Now, we'll try to replicate this pero gamit na ng 3D. Okay, so paano natin ginagawa? Unlike sa isometric na inuuna natin ng base, dito sa 3D, kapag dinrawing natin siya sa 3D, ang kinoconsider na natin is yung kung saan tayo mas mapapadali. Hindi lagi yung base. Kung saan ka mas mapapadaling i-drawing. So for example, this one is drawn, if I'm not mistaken, it is 38 by radius 38 and radius diameter 100. So radius 38 and radius 50. Okay, so first is you draw the circle. So ang uunahin ko pala itong malaking curve. Yan yung uunahin ko ha. So I'll first draw 50, radius 50, and another on the center, I draw 38. So radius 38. So after nun, i-extrude ko siya down ng sama ba yan? 70. So i-extrude ko ng 70. Okay. So once na meron na akong below, bigat kasi. Nag-hack na yung computer. So, isa-subtract siya. Subtract yung malaki sa maliit na bilog. Okay? So, once I subtracted that, then magdodrawing ako ng rectangle. Yung rectangle na yon, i-move ko hanggang mapaloob niya yung cylinder. Then, bababa ko siya. And then, subtract na naman ako. This one and this one. So, para matira yung malaking shape na yun. Then, ang gagawin ko is 3D rotate ko na siya sa x-axis. Sa tamang x-axis. Okay, so yan yung kanyang portion. Then, after nun, idodrawing ko na itong ito. So, siya daw ay 170 by 45. So, mas madali pa. 170 by 45. So, yan. After nun, siya ay maglalagay ako ng hole na 20. Ang kanyang size ay 20. 20, 10. Okay. And then, ang thickness niya ay 15. So, gawin ko muna ng thickness. 15. Then, magdodrawing ako ng circle na diameter 20. After nun, ito ay i-move ko sa gitna. Then, sa gitna, iusog ko siya ng 10. Then, magdodrawing ako ng rectangle na 20 by 20. Tama. Then, yung 20 by 20 na yon, ilalagay ko siya sa gitna ng circle. Okay. So, once na meron na ako yan, i-extrude ko pababa. Then, yung dalawang object na yon, yung square tsaka yung circle na in-extrude ko, i-mirror ko sa portion na to para mag-reflect siya sa kabila. Then, after nun, sasubtract ko na siya. Kabilaan, and space. Then, i-move ko siya sa gitna nitong object na to. Or ito na lang i-move ko. Move and 2P. 1, 2, and 2P ko ulit. 1, and then 2. Yan. So, after nun, magdodrawing ka ng mamaya na. Etong nasa gitna na ang size ay 48, diameter 48 and diameter 30. So, magdodrawing ko ng pipe here. Ano nga yun? Diameter 48 and 30. And then, another circle na diameter. So, after nun, ang height niya daw from the bottom is 65. So, extrude ko to 65. Okay? So, after nun, i-move siya from the center to dito. 1, and then 2. So, yan. So, after nun, yung nasa gitna na part, ito, isa-subtract ko siya dito. So, 1, tsaka 2, and then subtract yung nasa gitna na hindi kita. Yan. Para mabutas. Ano nangyari? Subtract. Ito. Sa dito. Yan. So, may butas na yan. Then, idodrawing ko ulit itong 38. Mali ako kanina. Radius 38. And then 3DR. Yung kulay red, pataas. And then, move ko siya dito sa gitna. Asa na circle. And then, extrude. Okay, so once na-drawing mo na yon, subtract ka uli. 1, 2, and then, ito. There you have it, yung object in 3D. Okay, sandali lang ako lang ang charger. Okay, question. Question? Meron ba tayong question? May question ba tayo? Okay, so kung wala, then that's it for 3D basics. Now, since tapos na yung ating discussion for AutoCAD, please make sure that all the plates I tend to post in our classroom will be complied. Kasi once na merong kulang na isa doon, it means you are incomplete in the subject. The practical exam will start next week. So I already coordinated some with Ian. And I also scheduled our exam kay director. So nagtatanong-tanong ako ng kailan tayo available for a practical exam. Okay, the instruction is to follow. I needed to confirm first kung available yung school in such dates, on such dates na sinabi ko kay ma'am sa director na. Okay, any questions?
Sir, hanggang kailan po pasahan ng plates?
Until July 23. Kasi kailangan submitted na yung grade ng July 30. And our final exam or yung ating examination will cover the weeks of 9, 16, 9, 15, and 22. Yan yung mga dates. Okay, yung pagkakasunod-sunod, hindi naman tayo lahat pupunta sa school. So, by schedule. So, halimbawa, si Ian sa 9, so tapos na siya. Yung 16, nakaschedule na 16, sila yung pupunta ng 16. And so on. 15 rather. Okay? So, check ko muna. Otherwise, pag hindi tayo pinayagan, they'll proceed with online pa rin ang ating practical exam. Okay, question?
Sir, nabasa niyo po yung yung chat ko. Yung kung kapag po Monday tsaka Tuesday wala po kaming schedule.
Ako naman ang hindi pwede.
Ay, okay.
Kasi may trabaho ako.
Kapag SAT po kasi 2 PM may pasok
Hindi.
po kami.
Yung lang naman yun lang, i-confirm ko pa, ang hinihingi ko lang naman na schedule is 9. Yung
Ay, okay.
mga succeeding week, 15 tsaka 22 na tayo. Okay, sige. Question pa? Okay, so once I got the approval from our director, then we'll see you on the day. So makita ko man lang mukha niyan sa personal. At
Okay.
yan ay required naman talaga ng ating school to have a practical exam. Dahil ito ay lab subject. Okay?
Bali po sir yung if ever man po na matuloy yung practical na face to face po. Bali sariling device din po yung gagamitin namin.
No, meron tayong CAD dun sa school.
Okay po.
Question pa? Okay, so if wala na, then please turn on your camera para sa photo op. Okay. So, 1, 2, 3. Iyan, 28 kayo, no?
Opo, sir.
Sige. See you on the next week. Okay, sige. Sir Naglolo. Okay, no? Sige. Thank you, everyone. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you po, sir.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.